Speedloader slacks are new exotic boots for the Hunter introduced in Lightfall. What they do is when you dodge, you get a buff called Stat Boost. Just stat boost, that's it. This buff can be stacked up to a maximum of 5 times by dodging more or by getting a kill after you get the first stack of the buff. It's also worth mentioning that any allies around you, whenever you get a buff, even if you've had 5 times stacks, will also get the buff. In fact, they'll get the exact same stack of the buff that you have when you refresh it. What the buff does though is it increases your reload speed, your handling, and your airborne effectiveness, with the strength of the buff going up with every stack. And the actual strength of the buff itself is actually pretty goddamn good. In fact, if you actually look at the stats this thing gives you, it basically gives you 80% of the buff on the first stack, which basically means it's good in PvP. That's what they're trying to do here. Since getting additional kills or more dodges in PvP is obviously going to be a lot harder. But yeah, overall, testing this in PvE, not PvP, I don't do PvP, I can actually say this exotic's quite good. Like, generally quite decent. The reload speed stat and the handling stat it gives you is 100% noticeable. 55 reload with a 0.9 multiplier is quite a lot. For reference, by the way, Frenzy, which is probably the best perk in the game, grants you 50 reload and 50 handling, so it's pretty goddamn good. Also, the buff itself can be kept up almost indefinitely. Like, it is not hard to keep up, and even if you do lose it, it's one dodge, and that's really easy to get back. So yeah, overall, this exotic's pretty good. Or at least it would be if it wasn't on Hunter. You see, the problem is that Hunter kind of already specs into reload speed and handling, and it does it pretty well. Not only do you have On Your Mark on the Solar subclass, which grants you additional reload speed and handling when you dodge or on precision kills, and it also gives it to your allies, but you also have the Arc aspect, I don't know what it's called, but it gives you additional reload speed when you've got Amplified. And Amplified gives you a natural buff to handling as well, so there you have that. But then you also have something called Marksman Dodge, which will just automatically reload your gun whenever you do it. That one's pretty good. But then also, on top of that, you have Dragon Shadow, which is already an incredibly good exotic for reload and handling purposes. In fact, I actually want to compare Dragon Shadow to this real quick, just to show, like, how not needed Speedloader slacks is. Speedloader slacks at max stacks will grant you 55 reload speed with a 0.89 multiplier, 55 handling, and 50 airborne effectiveness. On the other hand, Dragon Shadow will grant you 100 handling with a 0.7 reload / stow multiplier, 100 reload, 50 mobility, increase your sprint speed by 6.25%, increase your slide speed by 35%, and it will also just reload all your weapons. And that all happens for 9 seconds after 1 dodge. Speedloader slacks, you have to get that up to max stacks, which is 5 dodges or 1 dodge and 4 kills. Granted, it's for 15 seconds, but like, the difference is pretty much there already. So yeah, overall, Speedloader slacks, pretty good exotic, but it's just not useful on Hunter because they already have such good things for reload speed and handling. Airborne effectiveness is also there, but to be honest, airborne effectiveness is only really a vital stat in PvP. In PvE, you are not jump shotting things, please. Overall though, if you were to call these good, I would 100% agree, because it's not like that bad, but at the same time, there's so many better alternatives out there. If this was put on Titan, not Warlock, because Warlock already has Ophidians, it would actually be pretty goddamn good, because Titan does not really have an exotic like this, and they also don't really have the ability to do this other than, I guess, Rally Barricade. But yeah, long story short, exotic good, not good on Hunter. Hope you enjoyed the video, and see you.